I have limiting stories as a human being, and they're hard to see because I live in them. I also have assumptions about the way things should be that aren't necessarily true. And they can also limit my life and what's possible. For example, I come from the prairie. I was raised on the prairie. And I came to San Francisco and the West Coast, and I realized that not everything is flat, and there aren't abundant parking places everywhere. It was different, and I adapted. Last week, I was in Venice, and I wanted to lift Venice up as this amazing outlier. These people have lived with water streets for 1,000 years. It is our job in our spiritual practice to, with prayer and meditation, to help us break out of the patterns that limit us and the assumptions that make us fearful. Our goal is to practice a higher level of consciousness and to keep our thoughts process fluid. How would it change if we expanded our ideas about, as much as Venice expands the ideas of streets? All of their streets are water. And ever since they were created in around the 1000th century, they have learned to work with the tides. They have learned to be fluid with what is, with the oceans. They've adapted to that, to what the tides bring in, to the level of the ocean. They've adapted. And they don't assume that their streets are solid. Well, I was raised, my streets were very solid. They were rutted and solid. But, this is really what quantum reality brings to us. What we think is solid is actually moving. And I just love this metaphor. It's so striking and powerful. They can't demand that a road be a certain way. They accept what the tides bring in, what the weather brings, and they move along with it. They are rooted in something higher and more secure than appearances. And that seems relevant. They work with what is by using our inner resources and our principles. And that's what meditation is all about, to use those inner resources, the unseen, to be curious and to be open and to accept what we might not be familiar with or not make assumptions, to honor every season of our lives. So I want to dedicate this meditation to that fluidity, to trust the movement of the eternal. So let's take a breath. Let's take a breath of the eternal. Breathe in, gratitude through the heart. Breathe in. Let it fill every bit of your body, from your head to your toes, fingers, arms, belly. And exhale fully all the stories that are not useful and not working anymore. Another couple of breaths like that. Breathe in, an invigorating breath. Breathe in. Checking in with your body. Sending the breath to any place that needs some special attention. And exhaling fully. One more breath like that. Breathe in gratitude, whatever comes up for you. Breathe in. Let it light you up and fill you up. And exhale. Continue being conscious with your breath, filling yourself up, changing who you are with gratitude, and trusting the unseen just a little bit more. attitude, and sound. As we are vibration, the sound, beautiful sound of the steel drum is an accessible way in. Allow the calm of knowing that you don't know, but Spirit does. And Spirit is right here at hand. Think of the streets of Venice and how fluid that is. Reach a little bit more for that fluidity. Reach for principle. In the changing world, in our changing bodies, in seasons, it's the only thing that really is solid. In a changing world. Sit back and relax. Let Spirit guide you back to health, back to connection, dropping our assumptions about the way it has to be. Surfing the streets of Venice with principle as our guide, recognizing that we don't know, but we are held and loved and guided. Drop down to the place of Spirit. Drop down into the peace that passes all understanding, the heart center, knowing that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Drop down to where Spirit waits for us, to guide us, to hold us, and to heal us in the silence. We remember this place that is home, that is our hearth, where Spirit always guides us to health and wholeness. We remember this place like the blood in our veins, where Spirit is. We are that. Spirit is here and ready to support us when things change in the unseen world, in the quantum world, in the spirit world, in every season of our lives. We are accompanied by Spirit and by each other. We are not alone. Thank you so much for joining me today.